Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back, man. Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Ding, ding, ding. Oh boy, welcome back. There's a lot to get through today, mate. Suggestions of Marina Granovskaia leaving, being replaced from the geezer from Atletico Madrid. Romelu Lukaku is in agreement with Inter for a return. Can he convince Chelsea? Mo Salah happy to leave Liverpool for a Premier League team, one of which could be Chelsea. Lots to talk about that. And also, the third kit has been leaked for next season from Footy Headlines. So, oh my giddy aunt, she's on the freaking ceiling, mate. Drop a like, please. Thank you. Very sweet of you, man. Consider subscribing if you want to. And if you choose to do so, make sure that bell's clicked, so you're the first to get notified when I upload. It might be off-season, ladies and gentlemen, but it's still important to notify you that I am sponsored by SPITCH. Ding! And it's the perfect time to get set up on SPITCH, getting ready for the upcoming Premier League season. To check it out, it's a completely free fantasy football, but you can win money on it. If you want to wager money, you play against managers across the whole world. You don't have to commit to a whole season like Fantasy FPL. You can just play every weekend. And my favorite element about SPITCH, is that it uses Opta stats. It utilizes the engine, so it's actually a thinking man's fantasy football that you don't have to commit all season. Click the link down in the description to sign up now. Just get it ready, make an account for the upcoming season. Thank you for checking that out. Right! Back in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Where to start? Should we start and look at the kit then? Because this is a Footy Headlines leak for the third kit. We've already looked at the first kit. Sort of Brighton vibes with the white collar. But let's check this out. Bing! Look at that. Now, it's black and goldish, and people love that. I think we don't know what's going on with Free. I think there's a chance Free might stay our sponsors. I'm not entirely sure. But that is a nice kit. It's simple. It's got a nice I would have quite liked a collar on it, actually, maybe like an orange gold collar. But that is a pretty nice kit, man. I'll also show you the actual shirt picture version. Let's just do that. There you go. I think that's pretty nice. I think it would look better without the free logo on it if it had a different sponsor. But I might buy that kit when it comes out. I bought the yellow kit from this season / last season. I think it's a nice kit, so I'll be keen to get your guys' thoughts, feelings, and opinions down in the comment section below regarding that kit. So I'm not going to read you an article talking about Mo Salah in the Athletic, but I'm going to talk about the story. Mohamed Salah, 29 years old, turns 30 this summer, I think. So, no spring chicken wants a big sexy contract from Liverpool, one of which they're not willing to give to him by all accounts. So already red flags flying all over the gaff. And a report was published today that Mo Salah would want to stay, or certainly prefer to stay in the Premier League if he's sold by Liverpool. Which people are thinking like City and Chelsea, etc. Would he go straight over to City? There feels like there's quite a big rivalry between those clubs at the moment. Would he make a return to Chelsea? # unfinished business. Look who's back. Yes, I'm sorry if I'm giving you PTSD. Also, in terms of PTSD, it kind of reeks of Fernando Torres. Now, Torres was sort of injured when he came to Chelsea, and apparently the Liverpool players and people behind the scenes knew it was actually quite a good deal for a 50 million transfer at the time, which was huge for a player that obviously tore up the Prem going to a main rival, but basically wasn't the same player as he had been. Now, Mo Salah the second half of this season hasn't been on it. He got the golden boot, or shared the golden boot with Son because of his sort of first, 6 months form in the Premier League. He'd cost a lot of money. He'd won a big contract. He'd won a lot of wages. If he came to Chelsea and scored a bunch of goals for the next 3 years, it would look stupid. It would look, it would be great for Chelsea fans, and it would look stupid for Liverpool. I think there's a huge risk there. Not only that, I mean, by the way, there's no concrete links saying he's coming to Chelsea. It's the story is that he would want to stay in the Premier League and go to a Premier League club, and Chelsea are one of the clubs that would be able to afford him, essentially. That's where the links lie here, so don't put words in my mouth. I think he's an incredible player, of course. I also do think he's just a perfect footballer, finisher for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. I don't think you drop him into Chelsea and he scores goals, like loads of goals. That's why I've always preferred Eden Hazard to Mo Salah. Of course, as I'm a biased Chelsea fan, but Hazard's like poetry. Like, you can drop him into any team and just let him cook and express himself, provided he hasn't got plates in his ankles and whatever. If he's his natural self, you could drop him in any team. You could drop him in like a non-league team, or an informed Real Madrid if he's fit and he could do his thing. I feel like Mo Salah needs to be in that Liverpool team, and he's got a lot to thank Klopp for. I would be terrified of that transfer, as much as it would be funny if he started banging goals, because it's Liverpool, Chelsea rival in Liverpool. I think there'd be far too much risk, and there would obviously be a lot of money involved. So I'm going to say right now, no to Mohamed Salah. Again, I'm not saying he's on the table for purchase. I'm speculating and theorizing here from that, what's being said online. He'd probably score goals at Man City. Although he is a very transitional player, Mo Salah, and City like to just stay in the opposition half. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Cool. I'm going to use Cy Phillips' Twitter again to aggregate some news at Cy Phillips Sports. He's quoting Christian Pulisic here, which is quite interesting. At the end of the season, we were able to meet them, as in the new owners. They were around the club a lot. They're really good people, so I'm excited moving forwards. Sounds like Christian Pulisic is saying, yeah, I'm excited to work with these new owners moving forward at Chelsea. There's a lot of people speculating that Christian Pulisic is done out here at Chelsea, but maybe he remains. Of course, a lot of people were also thinking, new American owners, they definitely want to break into the USA market more. They've almost publicly stated that. Certainly, that's what all the reports suggest. Why would they want to sell the US men's national team's captain? Ultimate branding deal, Captain America. Very, very interesting. You'd have to assume that they'd, at least want to have a crack with him and see what they can do. We'll talk about Marina in a second. Coming from Gazzetta, Inter Milan have reached an agreement with Romelu Lukaku for around a salary of 7.5 million euros, which you'd probably, I think that's less than what Chelsea... I imagine it's a lot less than what Chelsea are paying for him, because the stories were suggesting that Lukaku would take a big pay cut to go and play football where he loves again. The player's lawyer now has 15 days to convince Chelsea to accept the loan formula. 15 days, so a couple of weeks from now, they've got to convince Chelsea to loan him back to Inter. They've understood so basically, this is what it's going to come down to. Inter are going to want an option to buy. Chelsea are going to want an obligation to buy to protect their purchase. Now, Inter are in a favourable position in the sense of they'll get their man back, probably for a reduced price because of the situation, and maybe there's an element of the new ownership accepting to maybe break a few eggs, take a few losses, take a few hits in the early stages of their ownership just to get things going. Maybe that will work in the Inter's owners' favour, maybe not. But Chelsea, like I said at the end of yesterday's video, Chelsea are going to have to take a hit a bit regardless. So that is really interesting. Let's watch this space. Make sure you keep it locked for updates on all transfers. We'll be following every and all the big stories as they break. And, sometimes more than one video a day. So turn the bell on when you subscribe, because there's lots going on. Right, Marina Granovskaia. So this is coming from Sport Bild, which is a German publication. Big sort of publication, I suppose, like tabloidy, but seemingly a big sort of juggernaut in journalism in Germany. Marina Granovskaia is likely leaving Chelsea at the end of August, so that's not the end of next season in terms of a transition. That is the end of this transfer window, just going into the next season. So it's literally just helping Chelsea negotiate the transfers. And the top target to replace her is Andrea Berta of Atletico Madrid, which I guess is the gentleman who does, like, you know, I'm assuming the same jobs, transfer negotiations. Before we talk about Berta, let's talk about Marina. There was all speculation she might go. Many people, including myself, thought it would be important to keep her, certainly for at least the transitional period, which is seemingly what's going on here. Oddly, she's a bit of a divisive figure, Marina Granovskaia. I'm not sure why, because we've certainly done a couple of videos on her almost exclusively over the last few years when I've been doing this channel. She's so well respected within the game. You know, you hear these quotes from Premier League executives, like club executives, and they say she like dominates a room. She makes you think you're winning when you're losing. She's negotiated insane deals. Just, you know, a couple of videos ago, we spoke about yet again how that Hazard money's come in more. A player with 12 months on this deal, a sensational deal negotiated, quite frankly a mind-boggling deal. Similarly, the money we got for Morata, Diego Costa, some other players as well. She's very good. Of course, she was recognised for what she does, winning that Golden Boy Awards for the best football club director. It would be a massive loss, but at the same time, she loves Chelsea. She's been at Chelsea for many years, and she's done a great job at Chelsea. But I think she probably does just absolutely, you know, she's got an allegiance to Roman Abramovich. He brought her in to Chelsea from his company in Russia as a PA, and she'd literally run around doing stuff for him and just worked her way up. I feel like she probably recognizes the difficulties that he's been through she's, you can imagine, very, very close to him. And as much as you'd assume he'd give Marina his blessing to carry on at Chelsea, maybe, this is of course speculation, that she might feel an allegiance of him to go help him with his new ventures elsewhere. Maybe it's a PR thing in terms of the new ownership really just wanting to be out with the old, in with the new, a complete new refreshment of personnel, and sort of get out anything. Because even if she is recognised as really good at her job, she will, of course, she's got such a potent affiliation with the old ownership in Roman Abramovich. So we'll see what happens there. You just got to go with them, and in with the new, I suppose. Andrea Berta, the gentleman at Atletico Madrid. Atletico have done some peculiar business. You know, they spent 130 million on João Felix, which was sort of strange. You know, they've paid a lot for Morata again. I don't know how good business they do. I don't know where this recommendation is coming from. I have to just sort of defer to people with greater football knowledge regarding these figures around football. Is this guy wanting to leave Atletico Madrid? Are we going to be spending 130 million on young guys from Liga NOS? You know, is he going to come in and be like Darwin Núñez? It's really interesting. Again, I'm just reflecting on the news stories here. I can't really give a strong opinion on that because I don't have enough data or intel about this gentleman, or, you know, what would happen, or the reasons behind the shift and desire to change personnel in this role that Marina does. But I'll be keen to hear what you guys think, so comment down below. I am going to react as we go to all these news stories, so make sure you keep it locked. And do go check out SPITCH by clicking the link down in the description, and just get yourself ready for the new season. Alright guys, see you very soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.